Hello and welcome to This Week in Agriculture, a presentation of the Communications Unit, Ministry of Agriculture. I'm your producer and host, Christopher Holder. On this week's presentation, we bring you highlights of the activities of Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa as he went about the business of advancing the cause of agriculture.
Guyana is on the rise, and under the leadership of the PPPC government, major investments are paving the way for a brighter future. Since 2020, we have embarked on transformative projects that are revolutionizing our infrastructure, agriculture, and the lives of our people. In regions 3, 5, and 6, we are building hope-like canals, essential infrastructure that will protect our communities, secure our farmlands, and ensure a resilient future. These canals are more than just water management, they are lifelines for our people. At Yaro Cabra, a regional food terminal is taking shape with the capacity to store 40-foot containers. This terminal will become a central hub for our agricultural exports, enhancing food security and boosting our economy. Completion is expected by the third quarter of 2025. Through innovative partnerships, we've launched a 15.75 million hydroponics project capable of producing 100,000 plantlets at a time. And with the AIEP hydroponic program, 300 youths from regions 2, 5, and 10 are being introduced to advanced growing, processing, and marketing techniques, securing their place in the agriculture of tomorrow. Our commitment to innovation doesn't end there. In partnership with the Energy Resource Institute of India, we're building a tissue culture facility that will boost plantlet production from 13,000 to 1 million annually. This will revolutionize the production of crops like plantain, pineapple, cassava, and even strawberries and raspberries, opening new markets and opportunities. In the hinterland, our investments are transforming lives. Through the HISAT project, over 28,600 residents in regions 1, 7, 8, and 9 are benefiting from infrastructure upgrades, improved irrigation, livestock and farming development, and training in climate-smart agriculture. In 2023 alone, $739 million was allocated to drive these projects forward. The PPPC government is not just investing in infrastructure, we're investing in our people, our future, and the prosperity of our nation. Together, we are building a stronger, more resilient Guyana for all. The Guyana Rice Development Board is integrating cutting-edge technology in rice farming. With the introduction of drones and GIS mapping, farmers can monitor their crops and make data-driven decisions. Through our Farmers Field School methodology, we provide comprehensive training to ensure farmers maximize the benefits of these technologies. As part of the project, GRDB has trained 8 drone pilots and 12 data analysts. The project was piloted at 9 farmers' field schools, with 3 located in Region 6, Crabwood Creek, Yakusari, Blackbush Boulder, and Lancaster, 3 in Region 2, Fairfield, Walton Hall, Henrietta, and 3 in Region 3, Windsor Forest, Good Hope, and Wakenham. To date, over 200 farmers have participated in the pilot areas and an additional 150 outside the pilot areas, with female farmers comprising 15% and young farmers 45%, representing 6% of the total farmers in the country. The Guyana Rice Development Board, pioneering the future of farming. A message from the Ministry of Agriculture. We begin this week's review with news that the 19 millers owed millions under the failed rice sale agreement between the AFC government and the government of Panama have finally received their outstanding monies through the determined efforts of the PPPC administration. At a special meeting convened in his office this past week, Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa hosted the millers and oversaw the handing over of the outstanding payments to the grateful millers, many of whom were forced into bankruptcy as a result of not being paid the huge sums owed to them. The total sum paid over by the Panamanian government was $7 million, or just around $1.5 billion Guyana dollars. The government of Guyana, through the Guyana Rice Development Board, GRDB, and the Ministry of Legal Affairs, recently settled the matter with the Panamanian officials, after which the outstanding sum for rice shipped to Panama in 2018 was transferred to the GRDB account for disbursement. Speaking at the presentation, Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa said the APNU AFC government failed to work in the interest of the Guyanese millers in ensuring that their deals were honored.
When this agreement was signed, I believe it was signed in 2014, August, it was signed under our government at that time, the PPP Civic government, and the contract to Panama, I think it was both sides. We were supplying the rice and Panama was paying the millers. And we had a very smooth arrangement. Any hiccup was dealt with then the Ministry of Foreign Trade and the Ministry of Agriculture. Then lo and behold, in 2018, we had this issue where the contracts or the paddy that was supplied during 2018 was not paid for, and then we had a breakdown of the entire agreement. And you all were owed a large percentage of money coming out of that. So, and the debt at that time also occurred a lot of interest. And we were looking at that, and then we had a back and forth, and we had to take legal action. Now, because of that, a number of mills, almost 6 or 7 mills, rice mills, closed down because of this debt. That was the effect it had. And I have the names of these mills that closed. You had Olmac, Guyana Incorporate. You have Techno Mill, Guyana Incorporate. That is you, Farouk. You closed down your mill too because of that. And you have Fayuz Hussein, Rice Mill. Who is Fayuz? You closed down your mill too? And then you had Soklal Rice Industry. You closed your mill? And Chitram Ramrup. That is you, right? And Rupan Ramutar. Falkak. So all those mills were closed because of this debt. You had large mills too were affected. I had a number of meetings. You all know when I became Minister of Agriculture, every single function, you all raising this matter with me. And we made we gave an undertaking that we will pursue this matter to resolve it.
Minister Mustafa said the payment of the outstanding sums owed to millers is of great significance, as it comes at a time when Guyana's rice sector is on an upward trajectory.
Now, this has to be seen in the light of what is happening in the rice industry today. We are seeing this for the first time in the history of this country, we'll pass the 700,000 ton mark. We have 25,000 tons more to reach 710,000 tons, the target that was set for this year. Initially, during the budget, we had a target of 710,000, right?
Correct.
Now, that was revised to 716,000 for this year. We are hoping that we will surpass that. And we will not hoping, we will surpass that target this year. And I think we'll exceed that target. And we are hoping that the rice industry will continue to excel, because we have made a lot of input over the last 4 years. Over $3.6 billion we have invested in the rice industry to bring relief to the farmers. You as the miller would have received paddy, but we have moved the industry yield from around 5.9 tons to now about 6.7, 6.8 tons per hectare. We are hoping that by 2030 or less, before that, we can produce 1 million tons of rice coming out of Guyana.
Millers were told that government is committed to providing an enabling environment for the nation's farmers, ensuring that they are able to get the best result out of the business of agriculture.
Our job is to ensure that we create an atmosphere where the farmers, where you, the millers, and the farmers can invest. That is why in the next year from now, we will open up more lands in MMA. We will open up more lands in Region 6 and also Region 2. And we are looking also to increase production in various areas. So This morning, 19 farmers, 19 millers,
Yes.
19 millers will be paid fully for that debt since 2018. And many of you all ask hope, like Farouk, he never mentioned anything to me. The first time I heard that you get owed today, I heard, right? But I know the usual suspects like Dan Pasad, Haq, Carlos, they always raise this issue, and Chitram. But I am happy that we have this money and we are paying out. I hope you all also, some of you all have some account to settle with GRDB. I hope you all settle those accounts too, right? And the farmers, if anybody owe any small farmers, I told GRDB to deduct the money after consulting with the farmers and the miller, right? And we go pay the farmers if we owe any small farmers, because we had some issue in Essequibo when we went there. But rest assured, the government will continue to support this industry. This is a very important industry. What we are seeing now around the world, we are seeing demand for grain, and Guyana is a major player in CARICOM. As a matter of fact, the entire CARICOM now are calling around and calling Guyana for the supply of rice. I have had cause to call a number of millers, because sometimes they are saying that the quotas that they had, the agreement, they are not receiving the amount of rice from Guyana, and the rice is being sold to other destinations. So let us hope, first of all, I want to ask Grandma, ensure that all the agreement that we have in CARICOM, you all abide with it and supply the quota. And then we can go. We are having more markets. We are having more requests for markets in different parts of the world. You have more lucrative markets. Sometimes the European market is more lucrative. You have some countries in CARICOM, like Trinidad is paying more than some other country. You got different parts of the different markets around the world. But this morning, I want to extend thanks to His Excellency. He has worked very, very hard in getting this agreement, because he has helped us. Because if we're going to go the legal route, we would not be here this morning. That would have taken a long process. And all of us have to give thanks to the work that the President has done behind the scene to get this money realized, this payment realized.
Millers receiving their monies were overjoyed that their long wait was finally over.
I feel so happy about receiving this payments, because I waited so long for it. It was so much overdue towards it, and it even affect us in the industry, because we couldn't even really close for a while, because of the payments, And now we receive the payments and we feel so happy about it,
Well, we feel a great relief, because we were worrying about the equipment that we have in the mill, because remember, it was going down. So now that we get the money, we will reopen back.
This morning we are here to conclude a very long and probably for some very stressful, from 1918 to now is 2024, has been concluded. And I guess all of us are happy that this financial issue have been settled, and this bring the Panama sales to a closure. And I would say thanks to the government and the Ministry of Agriculture, Minister Zulfikar Mustafa. I will thank him for getting this matter concluded, and thanks, very happy.
Residents of Clonbrook and surrounding communities on the east coast of Demerara have been urged to make full use of all accessible lands in their communities for the cultivation of crops and the growing of livestock, as government stands ready to support them in several ways, including facilitating linkages with investors who have capital and are looking to execute large-scale projects. This was the message to those farmers by Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa during an outreach to their community this past week. This followed a frank exchange of ideas between the minister and the residents, many of whom raised issues of concern to them. Those issues, the minister said, will be resolved in the coming weeks. The agriculture minister, however, lamented that farmers seem unwilling to adapt to the changing needs of agricultural applications in the face of global and climatic realities.
It seems to me that Ayala continue to do the same thing we used to do 10 years ago. If we want to get better results, we got to change the way and work along with the officers, with NARI. So now this area here, we can work along with all the farmers. First of all, we have to decide what you need, what kind of crop is good for you all to plant. Crops that will find market. Some farmer want to plant everything under the sun, right? And then I get no market for it. Things that only get value. So what we'll do, we'll ask NARI to come back, work along with you all, let's develop certain crops, and we'll find market for it, right? Like at the commerce, he get 10,000 roots a time, find time, 10 million, right? He never get market for it. Who tell him to plant 10 million roots of time, right? So we will ensure that we try to find some market for him. But we have to do things in a more organized way. And the Ministry of Agriculture will work along with a number of farmers. The infrastructural work you see for yourself. I ain't going to tell you as propaganda. You see for yourself over the last 4 years how much work we have done. We are honest when it comes to these things. If we can't do it now, we will tell you that we can't do it. We will try as much as possible, because when you look at the agriculture budget, we increased it from $13 billion in 2020. When the previous government said that agriculture is a private business, we make it the people's business now. That is why you see all this investment. You see agriculture now in this country more attractive than oil and gas even. Because a lot of people have come into the country to invest in agriculture. Also what we are doing, we are linking investors with farmers. So that comrade said there are a lot of land, to be clear. We can link. Right now as I'm speaking, there are some investors who need land, which we can link with you. And you can start the partnership. You got the land, and the investor got the capital. You understand? You got the water and the drainage system. We are putting that in place. So that's the system we have to do. We can't be short-sighted. We have to have a vision. And that is what the government has been promoting. Today, Guyana is a major player in agriculture in the entire Caribbean. The entire Caribbean is looking to Guyana for that leadership. And you, the farmers, have to be the beneficiary of the investment that we are making. That is why when you look at when the president goes out, he always tries to find funds to invest. And when you talk about agriculture, it doesn't mean only you doing planting, cash crop planting and fruits and vegetables. Fruits. Agriculture is all-round activities. Things like livestock, aquaculture, crop. So all those areas now, we expand production. Right now, as I'm speaking, we are trying to develop the livestock industry. We have started the introduction of aquaculture to make it an industry. We are the traditional area like where we used to do rice, sugar, fruits and vegetables, we increase production. We're going to new crops. We're going to things like corn, soya, high value crops. All those things you have to get involved in. We have to reduce.
The message was the same during an earlier meeting with residents of Supply Mahaica and surrounding communities. Farmers were also promised free planting materials, help with agro-processing in its various forms, and also help with infrastructure works on private farms. Also this past week, Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa met with Mexico's ambassador to Guyana, His Excellency Mauricio Crespo. During that meeting, the officials discussed possible areas for collaboration in the agriculture sector. Possible areas of collaboration included coconut, cocoa, and coffee. The possibility of student exchange programs was also discussed. Recently appointed United Nations Resident Coordinator Ms. Jean Najeri Kamau also paid a courtesy call on Minister Mustafa. Discussions during that meeting centered on government's plans to further develop the sector through investments and collaborations with international organizations like the United Nations. On Friday last, the Ministry of Agriculture hosted an interagency cook-off competition in the compound of the Ministry of Agriculture head office on Regent Street. Each agency was tasked with preparing a full-course meal with pepper pot as the main dish. Minister Mustafa, along with Director General Madanlal Ramraj and other senior ministry officials, were on hand to sample the dishes in competition. In case you are wondering, they were all winners. Guyana is on the rise, and under the leadership of the PPPC government, major investments are paving the way for a brighter future. Since 2020, we have embarked on transformative projects that are revolutionizing our infrastructure, agriculture, and the lives of our people. In Regions 3, 5, and 6, we are building hope-like canals, essential infrastructure that will protect our communities, secure our farmlands, and ensure a resilient future. These canals are more than just water management, they are lifelines for our people. At Yarrow Cabra, a regional food terminal is taking shape with the capacity to store 40 40-foot containers. This terminal will become a central hub for our agricultural exports, enhancing food security and boosting our economy. Completion is expected by the third quarter of 2025. Through innovative partnerships, we've launched a 15.75 million hydroponics project capable of producing 100,000 plantlets at a time. And with the AIEP hydroponic program, 300 youths from regions 2, 5, and 10 are being introduced to advanced growing, processing, and marketing techniques, securing their place in the agriculture of tomorrow. Our commitment to innovation doesn't end there. In partnership with the Energy Resource Institute of India, we're building a tissue culture facility that will boost plantlet production from 13,000 to 1 million annually. This will revolutionize the production of crops like plantain, pineapple, cassava, and even strawberries and raspberries, opening new markets and opportunities. In the hinterland, our investments are transforming lives. Through the HESAT project, over 28,600 residents in regions 1, 7, 8, and 9 are benefiting from infrastructure upgrades, improved irrigation, livestock and farming development, and training in climate-smart agriculture. In 2023 alone, $739 million was allocated to drive these projects forward. The PPPC government is not just investing in infrastructure, we are investing in our people, our future, and the prosperity of our nation. Together, we are building a stronger, more resilient Guyana for all. The Guyana Rice Development Board is integrating cutting-edge technology in rice farming. With the introduction of drones and GIS mapping, farmers can monitor their crops and make data-driven decisions. Through our Farmers Field School methodology, we provide comprehensive training to ensure farmers maximize the benefits of these technologies. As part of the project, GRDB has trained 8 drone pilots and 12 data analysts. The project was piloted at 9 Farmers Field Schools, with 3 located in Region 6, Crabwood Creek, Yakusari, Blackbush Boulder, and Lancaster, 3 in Region 2, Fairfield, Walton Hall, Henrietta, and 3 in Region 3, Windsor Forest, Good Hope, and Wakenham. To date, over 200 farmers have participated in the pilot areas and an additional 150 outside the pilot areas, with female farmers comprising 15% and young farmers 45%, representing 6% of the total farmers in the country. The Guyana Rice Development Board, pioneering the future of farming. A message from the Ministry of Agriculture. The National Agricultural Research and Extension Institute, NARI, is responsible for protecting Guyana's agriculture through effective regulations. One of our key functions is the granting of import permits for agricultural products. What is an import permit? Well, an import permit is a mandatory document required for bringing regulated agricultural commodities into Guyana, including fruits, vegetables, and even items like furniture and stones. This permit specifies the conditions under which these items can enter Guyana, ensuring they comply with the National Plant Protection Organization Act. Why is this necessary? Import permits protect our agriculture from pests and diseases. Some commodities may appear safe but can pose a serious phytosanitary risk. NARI conducts risk assessments to ensure that only low-risk products are allowed in. Without these checks, harmful pests could damage our local crops and ecosystems. So when should you apply? Import permits are required every time you plan to bring in regulated items. The process begins with registering with NARI's National Plant Protection Organization. Forms are available on our website and can be submitted via email. Once approved, your permit is valid for 3 to 6 months, allowing you to import items in full or in parts during that time. What happens if you don't have an import permit? By law, if an importer fails to obtain a permit, the shipment can be seized and destroyed, treated and released, or re-exported to country of origin, depending on the level of risk. This ensures that Guyana's agricultural integrity remains intact and free from potential threats. How do we stay updated on risky products? NARI works with international partners like the IPPC and the World Trade Organization to stay informed about threats to agriculture. This global network helps us manage risks and update regulations. After receiving a permit, importers must upload it into the GRA's ASICUDA system before declaring their goods. This ensures the proper vetting process between NARI, the importer, and the Guyana Revenue Authority. Our partnership with GRA ensures that agricultural products entering Guyana meet all safety and regulatory requirements. Protecting Guyana's agriculture is a shared responsibility. Apply for your import permit today and contribute to a safe and thriving agricultural industry.
Well, that's all the time we have on this week's edition of This Week in Agriculture, a presentation of the Communications Unit, Ministry of Agriculture. On behalf of the Minister and the entire team at the Ministry of Agriculture, and of course on my own behalf, I wish you all the best for the week ahead. Certainly hope you are as productive as you may wish to be. Until next time then, be good to yourselves and to each other.